Hey, it's Melissa from the Wando Mount Pleasant Public Library. I work in the Young Adult Services Department, and today I am going to make a no-bake pumpkin pie cheesecake. I don't like baking, which is why I'm doing a no-bake one. This recipe is from delish.com, and let's go through the ingredients. So it calls for a ginger snap, I keep saying graham cracker, ginger snap crust. So the crust will be a little spicier. If that's not your flavor, then definitely you can substitute graham crackers. We will be making our own crust, but you can always buy one of those pre-made like graham cracker pie tin crusts to make it that much easier. So we will need graham crackers, some butter, and some granulated sugar for the crust. And then for the filling, you will need cream cheese. You need 2 8-ounce packages, pumpkin pie puree, and then it also calls for heavy cream. So we have some heavy cream, and this is because you will whip in whipped cream into the cream cheese pumpkin pie deliciousness. I'm going to cheat and just use pre-made whipped cream. You can do whatever you want. I'm taking the easy way. You'll also need some powdered sugar and then some spices. So you'll need some vanilla extract there, and some nutmeg, and some ground cinnamon, and then a pinch of salt. So the first step is to smash up the ginger snaps. I thought that I could just smash them in the bag and get some maybe aggression out, but that was taking a really long time. So I actually just popped them in a blender, and you need 1.5 cups. So we're gonna measure that out into this bowl. Okay, so you need 1.5 cups of the crushed ginger snaps. So I just put those in a bowl. Can we see it? Let's mess with this camera angle. And then you need 5 tablespoons of melted butter. So I've gone ahead and melted that. I'm gonna pour it in. And then we need 2 tablespoons of sugar. So we're gonna put in those 2 tablespoons of sugar. Okay. Let's see, let's check the recipe. And then we are going to mix it all up. So the mixture is supposed to resemble wet sand, and you can see some of the pieces are bigger than others. I guess you can't see, but that's fine. And then once you have it resembling wet sand, you'll just pour it into a pie pan. The recipe says it needs to be like a springform pan. I'm just using a regular old pie pan. And then you're gonna smooth it all out, so to create that really delicious crust that we want. I'm gonna do it first with this spatula, and then just go in there with my hands to fill in any cracks. Okay, we did it. So it'll look something like that. Now it's time to move to the filling. So I'm gonna wash my hands, and then we'll start that. The recipe calls for 2 8-ounce blocks of like room temperature cream cheese. So make sure you leave it out to come to temperature. And then we are going to put both of these in a bowl. See if we can do it. Got it. And then we're gonna mix it until it gets fluffy. So I'm going to go ahead and do that because you guys don't need to listen to that because it's a terrible sound. And I'll show you when I get. Okay, so it looks fluffy, it looks like frosting. And then the next step is to add your pumpkin. So you need the whole can and you're gonna plop it in and then mix it together. And again, you want kind of like a fluffier consistency. Okay, so we've mixed it, and you want it so there are no lumps. And it'll be that delicious light orange pumpkin spice color. The next step is to add a cup of powdered sugar and then again beat until there are no lumps. So we're gonna do that. 1 cup powdered sugar. You probably know this, but powdered sugar gets everywhere, so just be prepared for that. And we're gonna go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like. So the powdered sugar is all stirred in, mixed in. It's fluffy and light and looks amazing. And we're on to our second to last step. We're gonna add in the whipped cream. So if you want to make your own whipped cream, you would add, you would do this in a separate bowl, 1 cup heavy cream, whip until it has stiff peaks, and then you would add that in here. I'm using the store-bought, and we're gonna use probably like half a cup of whipped cream. And we're gonna see how that goes. So here we go. I know you're not. Okay, we're gonna use a cup. And we'll just stir it in. And one of the reviews I read was that when you make this and you think cheesecake, you're gonna think like a denser cheesecake. But this filling is a little lighter. It's more like a mousse. So it's gonna be airier, and that means it does make it a little harder to set. This recipe says just to put it in the fridge for 4 hours, but we're actually gonna put it in the freezer, and that's supposed to help. But that's just a little tidbit. So we've stirred that in, and then we get to add the spices. So let's consult the recipe. And so that is 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, half a teaspoon ground nutmeg, and then 1/4 of a teaspoon of kosher salt. So one teaspoon. My computer froze for a minute, but then we're just gonna actually just do a pinch of salt. And then you just stir until it's well incorporated. And y'all, I'm gonna own up to this. We should have done the spices before the whipped cream, but we didn't, and I think it's gonna work out just fine. Okay, so it'll look like this. Smells like pumpkin pie. And we're just gonna pour it on top of our pie tin with our crust. We're gonna make some room, put some lids back on so I don't spill cinnamon all over the kitchen. And then you'll freeze it or put it in the fridge, whichever you decide, for at least 4 hours, longer if you desire. And then when you serve it, you should save some graham cracker. I did it again. Some ginger snaps, if you have extra, and you can crumble them on top for a nice crunch. And then you can always put a little bit more whipped cream, because you should. And that's it. So let's get all this filling. Okay. Sorry, threw that in the sink. And then you just smooth it out evenly into the pie tin. I'm sure you could make a fancy design if you wanted, but we're just gonna work on getting it even. So there it is. Pop it in the freezer, 4 hours, fridge 4 hours. We'll show you, we'll serve it with some whipped cream and I'll take a picture and add it. Let us know if you make it, what you think, how it tastes. We're really excited. Can't wait to eat it. Happy fall, y'all.